This is TechKnow, a show about innovations that can change lives.
The science of fighting a wildfire.
We're going to explore the intersection of hardware and humanity, and we're doing it in a unique way. This is a show about science
Oh my God.
by scientists. Tonight, trash. It's everywhere.
What's the output of this facility?
Landfills overflowing.
It just smells so bad.
But some of our trash could be recycled.
Why isn't it being done more?
Now TechKnow investigates the problem with plastic.
They throw it on the street or throw it in the ocean.
We have the technology,
I don't want to touch it. No, you can't.
so why don't we use it?
So you don't know what happens to the plastic that you recover.
Dr. Shinny Somara is a mechanical engineer. Dr. Crystal Dilworth is a neuroscientist.
We're standing by a pipe that's labeled heated sludge.
And I'm Phil Torres, I'm an entomologist. That's our team.
It smells very organic.
Now let's do some science. Hey guys, welcome to TechKnow. I'm Phil Torres. Today, we're gonna be talking trash, and a ton of it. And joining me with this trash talk, Dr. Crystal Dilworth and Dr. Shinny Somara. Now, first up, the water bottle. Now, by some estimates, here in the US, we use 50 billion of these every year. And myth number one is that this is gonna be recycled.
Correct. Actually, it's probably not going to be recycled. A lot of the water bottles that we think are headed for a recycling facility end up in landfills. And those landfills can have some really negative impacts on the surrounding communities.
It's actually quite shocking that a material that is designed to be used over and over again actually only gets used once. Now what we've done is take a water bottle just like this and follow its journey after it's been blue binned to see exactly what happens.
The world is addicted to plastic. It was sold to us as the product of the future.
Plastic, plastic, plastic.
This educational video from the 1940s celebrates the convenience of plastic.
Here they are in our homes, augmenting our comforts.
Back then, it was a symbol of the modern times to come. 6 decades later, the reality is the Earth is choking on it. According to the United States Environmental Protection Agency, only 9% of plastic is making its way into the recycling stream.
That's a people problem. They throw it on the street or throw it in the ocean, or unfortunately, that's a habit that has to be stopped.
It's our addiction to single-use plastic for fast food, storage and packaging convenience that's at the root of the problem.
We're guilty, and we should just admit it.
Dr. Stephen Nutt is a professor of materials science at USC. He studies the physics and chemistry of materials like plastic.
It seems to have been a material that was developed for convenience, but we're now, almost 100 years later, paying the price.
If you look at the population as a whole, probably the majority have not yet realized the magnitude of the problem.
And nothing symbolizes the problem like the omnipresent plastic water bottle. Americans consume water from about 50 billion bottles a year. Made from what's called PET, or polyethylene terephthalate, two monomers, ethylene glycol and purified terephthalic acid, combine to create a polymer, resulting in a lightweight but strong material.
Why then does it last almost to infinity in a landfill?
These essentially are the same type of bonds that hold together diamond.
If you're conscientious enough to throw a water bottle into a blue recycle bin, like we do here at TechKnow, then you probably think that water bottle is going to be turned into another water bottle. But that may not necessarily be the case. TechKnow wanted to find out what happens next, so we followed the water bottle.
This is the massive Puente facility near Los Angeles, California. Located near a large metropolis, it can take a lot of trash.
If you take a football field from post to post, 10 feet high, fill it up with trash. About a third of that, or a quarter of that, comes over here every day.
3,000 tons a day. This facility offers a glimpse into the world of single-stream recycling, because all of the recycled material it receives comes from a single-source bin like this. Convenient because all recyclables end up in one basket, but there's a price.
You can't unscramble an egg.
Susan Collins is a manufacturing engineer who heads up a non-profit recycling institute.
Once materials get mixed together too much, like glass shards ending up in paper, or plastic bottles ending up in the paper stream, or aluminum cans ending up in the plastic stream, all of that is detrimental to recycling.
Sorting seems to be a massive component.
There are multiple compositions of plastic. When these different plastics are blended together, then the recycling becomes difficult to impossible.
That's exactly what's happening at the Puente plant. That means a bottle won't be turned back into another bottle, but instead it will go on another journey into the secondary plastic market.
One of the myths is that once you place the water bottle in a blue recycle bin, it can actually be made back into a water bottle again. The technology is there. Why isn't it being done more?
You know, I can't really speak to the industry of what happens after, the water bottle leaves our facility. We just make sure that the containers that come in here are recovered as much as possible.
So you don't know what happens to the plastic that you recover once you've given it to the broker?
Well, no, but from what we understand, there is a local market for that. But for the most part, a lot of the material is shipped overseas, mostly to the Asian Pacific.
In 2014, the secondary plastic market sent about half of California's plastic trash to China. Because it's a mix of all the different types of plastics, it can only be melted down or repurposed, a process known as downcycling.
It could be t-shirts, it could be teddy bear stuffing, it could be carpets.
Because downcycled products end up on landfill, don't they, eventually?
Yeah, they just take a longer trip before they eventually end up in the landfill.
And there's another inherent problem with single-stream recycling.
Half of the country has access to recycling, and the other half might have a drop-off program that might be nearby, or it might be 10 or 20 miles away. In the US, we're able to use about 5 to 7% recycled content in PET beverage bottles in the United States. The number in Germany is 25 to 35%.
In the US, bottle bills are rare. California is only one of 6 states that places a redemption value on non-carbonated PET bottles.
Why don't we have a national bottle bill? Because it seems to be so successful.
Sure, it's purely for political reasons.
But when plastic bottles are purchased in California, consumers pay anywhere from a nickel to a dime deposit on them at checkout.
We see about 1.5 million customers a month.
Canadian-based company Replanet, with 700 locations in the US, offers a plastic buyback program. They're a sort of middleman in the plastics trade. They redeem bottles for deposit.
The result is dramatic. The recycling rate in California is typically 3 times higher than that of the rest of the nation.
Here at this Replanet sorting facility, they process over 2 million bottles a day, packaging up the best quality PET. These mountains of plastic are pressed, prepped, and then baled. Among the buyers for this baled PET is Carbon Light, a 220,000 square foot plant where they transform used plastic into material for new bottles. As a mechanical engineer, I feel like a kid in a candy store.
And it's very hard.
Yeah.
You don't want to touch it. No, you can't.
Recognizable.
Bales brought here are broken, and the plastics are separated from any debris and then washed in hot water.
In our second stage, that washes it very clearly, separates the caps and labels from the PET bottles.
It's then separated into clear PET, green PET, and non-PET. The clear and coloured PET is ground into flakes and washed again, heated, then melted.
And then becomes pellets.
It's called one-to-one or bottle-to-bottle recycling. the plastic from one bottle is used to make another. Nothing ends up in landfill. They even recycle the labels and caps. Nestle Waters and Pepsi's Naked Juice are among the companies heavily vested in one-to-one.
So if we get the recycle rates high enough in the US, it's very easy for us to have 100% recycled material for our use.
If you keep something in a closed loop, you're replacing virgin resources over and over and over again. So the math catches up with you in a pretty awesome way and is responsible for avoiding a whole bunch of environmental consequences.
Coming up, a controversial landfill.
Home meal pizzas is like a huge bathroom, It's just smells so bad.
Could Swedish technology have the answer?
We want to hear what you think about these stories. Join the conversation by following us on Twitter and at aljazeera.com/techknow.